So when I'm looking to identify a super user, I'm looking for attitude as the number one most important trait for that person. I'm looking for a willingness to learn. It's okay if you don't know everything, it's okay if you don't know how to use the product, but are you coming to the table and are you willing to learn? And if you are, then I can teach you almost anything. Perhaps the second most important trait is just a curiosity. Are you curious about how things work? Are you curious about how you might be able to make the process better? Because the willingness to learn and the curiosity to discover something new come together to help us identify new workflows and then implement. You're kind of pre-primed to learn a new workflow and then go through the effort, which requires patience to learn that new workflow and implement it. Third, and probably least important, but significant obviously, is digital literacy. Can you learn something new as it relates to software and digital content? As the whole industry makes this shift that we've identified as a digital transition, what raw skills are you bringing to the table to help in that facilitation of digital transition? And then last, believe it or not, is just raw estimating skills. If you have the top three, we can teach you how to estimate. They are not something that I personally believe you have to bring to the table on day one. So those are the 4 personality traits or characteristics that I look for to develop a new super user. Estimator in itself is not a complicated product, although there's a lot you can do with it. In its most simple form, to do just traditional estimating, it's a simple tool to learn. The industry itself is not getting any more simple. It's getting more complicated, more complex. So when it comes to a tool like Estimator, there's a lot we can do when it comes to like historical cost analysis or model-based estimating. And so we need those characteristics in a person to be able to exploit the tool to do all the things that we might want to do. I once heard a statistic from a company called Standish. I think they're a software evaluation company. And they speculate that only 5% of the functionality in your typical Microsoft Office products like Word and PowerPoint and Excel are used on a daily basis by the average user. And I would say there's a similar story there with a product like Estimator. Most of the users are only probably using some small percentage of the base features, and there's so much more that we can do. Well, it requires those other personality traits, the curiosity to know what we can do, the willingness to learn, to figure out a new way to do something, and all that to make that work and to extract all the value we can out of the product.